How do you eliminate distraction?
Oh, this is fun. Okay. So I eliminate it by eliminating it. And that sounds ridiculous, but like I think the vast majority of productivity hacks can get boiled down to remove everything that isn't work. So like my office has no outside light. I try to minimize all the sound in the office. I also put on earplugs and headphones. There's a great app that you can use that like blocks your phone, so like nothing can get through. So including text, phone calls, Slacks, everything, not just social media. Like it's a dead element essentially. And you have to physically move across the building, which is how I do it for mine, to like mess up your phone. And then I just have a clear idea of the work that I need to do. And so it's like when you eliminate everything else, and then I just set a kitchen timer for how long I expect a task to last. That is when I'm like peak productivity per unit of time, because there's nothing else to do.
So is this science or is this just you? Because eliminating natural light, why light? For me, like I get
get so distracted by light.
I get boosted by like seeing the outdoors and seeing greenery.
Yeah.
It's nice.
It doesn't work for me, man.
Yeah, and I'll be clear. Like if you find something that works for you, I'll say do that. And for anybody who's like, I do it your way. I don't care. Like I'm just saying this is what's worked for me. I do think there's a decent amount of data that suggests that anything that is not the work distracts you from the work.
How do you differentiate between distractions and rest?
Great question. So I think there's like kind of like micro macro. So like from a micro perspective, if you work for 60 minutes or 45 minutes or whatever, and then you're like, okay, I need a break. If you take the 5 or 10 minute like walk around the building or walk outside, to me, that's where you can get your natural light and all of that stuff. But then you come back and then you're fresh again and then you hit it. I see that rest as productive because it increases the overall net production over a larger period of time. So if you work like that for 12 hours and you worked without doing that, maybe you can only work 8 hours, or you can work the same 12, but you don't get as much done. So for me, it's really just the net productivity of a human being is what they get done over a period of time. So productivity has a temporal component to it and an output component. So maximizing output per unit of time is productivity as I define it. And so it is, okay, anything that increases that rate of work, which for the most part is just deleting the things that aren't work. Because few people actually work faster. You just don't work when you want to be working. And so I think if you just limit all the time that you're not working when you want to be working, you work a lot more. And if you've ever done the timer thing, which I would highly recommend, you see if you you truly take your phone away and you block out every single notification, and you have you script a YouTube video or write an email or make a script or whatever you have to do for your business or make a landing page, you'll notice that like you'll be like, oh my God. And then you'll look, it's been like 8 minutes. And you're like, oh my God. Like you're like monkey brain like wants to reach for something. How is that not like
sleeping when I keep looking at the time and thinking, oh man, another 10 minutes went by. That's another 10 minutes I'm not going to be sleeping. Do you ever look at the time and see, 10 minutes went by. Now I only got this amount of time. And now your mind's focused on the time and not the task.
I don't think about that at all, actually. If 8 minutes goes by and I worked the 8 minutes and I'm like, oh my God, it was only 8 minutes. I'm like, I have so much time. Like I did all that in 8 minutes because I was focused the whole time, and I only went to go reach for my phone at 8 minutes. I'm like, oh my God, I have 6 more.
So you don't see the time as a distraction?
No, not really.
Do you have any distractions that still sneak past your filters?
Well, not on the phone. I mean, that thing's done. Like it's cooked.
Twitter?
No, I mean when I'm working, I'm not gonna.
What about music? You listen to music?
No, only when I lift.
Silence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have earplugs and headphones. Like it's true silence.
What do you listen to when you lift?
Oh, just like the same songs I've had for like 15 years.
What
songs? Don't really change. I like Linkin Park a lot.
Cool.
Like Little Linkin Park. I listen to 50 Cent. I like 50 Cent. Get Rich or Die Trying.
Cool.
I like that entire album. I still also like some of my white boy music. I still listen to Little Green Day, Little Third Eye Blind, Little Third Eye Blind.
That's good.
But yeah, I only have like 20 or 30 songs that I can listen to like in a workout. So it's like I kind of have like a list of 100 and they randomly shuffle, and that's like my life.
How often do you skip the song?
It depends on what kind of set I'm doing.
Okay.
It's like if I'm early, like if I'm about to hit a work set, like I want to make sure it's a good song. But I think that's everybody.
So do you think distracted people then just want it less?
Oh, I don't even know how to define wanting it less. I would say that for whatever reason, they're being more rewarded from their current path than they perceive the reward of the path that they're trying to get on. Like, it's just, I think of everything in carrots and sticks. It's like they have enough stick of other people judging and enough carrot of staying the same that they don't change. They just have to overcome inertia, and they just can't do it for whatever reason. And I don't want to pretend like I have some like superhuman willpower. It's just like, I had, it's funny because like when I quit my job which was still to this day the hardest decision I've ever had to make in my whole life. Because believe it or not, I'm actually very risk averse. I can take bigger bets now, but it's because I have more. And so like if I lose, it's not like the end of the world. But at the time, there was like risking everything, or what felt like risking everything. And that was it was because I was so miserable. It was the only reason I was able to do it. Like if I had been employed at probably just even a different job at a different place, I probably would have been fine. And I don't think I'd ever even be here. So I don't think I had a high like predisposition towards entrepreneurship. Like some people do. They're like, I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. Like I wasn't. I didn't start any businesses. I did well in school. It wasn't like, oh, school failed me. Like I did well in school. Like I studied hard. I got good grades. And I graduated in 3 years from Vanderbilt. Like I did well. And then I got a good job, you know, in terms of on paper after that. And it was only like when I had done 2 years there, and that normally you'd go to like business school, that I was like, I hate this. I don't want to do this again. And I would rather take a shot.
So it spurred from being discontent with where you were at. That's interesting, because that is exactly what led to me trying out all of these different business ideas and then starting up this thing with Graham. But I never asked you, like, why, what motivated you in that beginning, that planted that seed to try to, you know, become big in real estate or on YouTube? Was it because you were discontent with where you were at, or just
yeah,
like
honestly, it's the stupidest thing. It was that
was
accounting.
It the data entry?
Yeah, with data, it was doing data entry.
Was.
I wanted to be an investment banker just because I was like, they make a lot of money. I just wanted to be successful.
Yeah.
And I would email all of these investment firms just asking to do anything for free.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll get you water.
Yeah.
I'll make copies. Just let me do anything, and I'll just be there. And I emailed maybe like 6, 7 places that I found on Craigslist. Like 2 of them turned out to be like MLM companies.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And one emailed me back and said, yes, actually, we're looking for a data entry position. If you want to interview it, come on in. And I interviewed, and it looked fantastic. And they had like a sales team in the front and a back office in the back.
Yeah.
And they hired me to do data entry at, I think back then it was like $8 an hour.
Yeah.
And I was so excited to go in because they made you wear like a suit every day. And I was like, I get to wear a suit to work. That's so cool. And I went in there, and everyone was a zombie.
Yeah.
And everyone just hated life.
Yeah.
And the first like day was okay, but I started getting in trouble for stupid things.
Okay.
Like I wanted to wear a headphone to listen to something throughout the day.
While you're mindlessly.
And they said I couldn't do that.
Okay.
And then I made a comment about they had styrofoam cups, and I said that like the paper cups were better for the environment.
Yeah.
And they said, we're not changing. They got really upset that I even made that suggestion. And then I went up to the CEO's office one day. This was all in the first week, just to say hi to the guy and introduce myself. And I'm like, I've just started working here.
Yeah.
And he wasn't in the middle of something, and he was friendly to me, but I got called into the manager's office later that day, and they said, hey, there's a chain of command. Like, you can't just go up to this person and talk to him. You have to talk to this manager, get their approval. It goes to me, and then I could. It made no sense. But I hated it there. And the only time that people came to life was Friday at like 4 p.m. And you started seeing people laughing and joking around and like being themselves. And then I remember they had like a casual, like one day a month, they had like a casual day where people could wear like jeans into the office. I thought that was so stupid after a while. Like, I didn't get it. But yeah, that single job made me hate life so much that I would do anything to never return to that, because I honestly thought, if this is the next like 40 years,
you future cast it. You're like, if this is it,
that you were willing to do something for free, which was assistant to the real estate thing.
Correct. But also during that time, they had a sales team in the front. I said I'd be a great salesperson. I just want to do sales. And they were making like 100 to like 300 grand a year doing like phone sales.
Yeah.
I wanted to do that. And I was told, you have to work your way up. You have to do data entry to go into the mail room, to go into like this thing to this thing. And then that was like years away.
Yeah.
And they also told me no one would trust me because I was 18 at the time. Like, no one would trust you on sales.
At all.
And and then I got into sales and did well.
Yeah, like that didn't matter at all.
But that for me was like the big, just 6 weeks. It was only there 6 weeks, but that made a lifetime impact.
Well, I want to highlight one thing that you said, which is just for anybody who's listening. Graham said, I'll do anything. And then they said, well, we do have this role open, do this. I would strongly recommend, if you want to, quote, do anything, then just look at the jobs they have available and try and do that. So rather than just going like empty, just be like, oh, you have a data entry position. I'll do that for you. And then in all of the extra time, that's where you try and have lunch with people. That's where you try and basically build your network within the business so you can start leveraging like relationships to gain more skills. And then you can start, moving your way in and learning what you want to learn.
What about applying to businesses that don't need your help or
Mhm.
aren't hiring? One of my things, I
Yeah.
always thought it was great to approach places you'd want to work
Yeah.
and just say, I'll take on any role.
I think it depends on the visibility of the company. So if the company has like a really big social media presence, they have so many people doing that the supply demand of people asking for that specific thing is super not in your favor. If you went to a business that's not based on that, like you go to an electric, like a HVAC company, you probably could find some work there that they'll let you do. And so I think it's like try and shoot where like the big arbitrage in life is finding supply demand discrepancies that are in your favor. And so you have a supply of work, they have a demand. Now, if there's way more supply, so many people offering it, then they can dictate their own terms. And if they don't need it, then they don't need it.